Doing well while doing good. That is the idea of social entrepreneurship. Joining us for this week's Smith Business Close-Up are Melissa Carrier, Associate Director of the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship, and Yonas Beshawred, a senior at the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Thanks to both of you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When we talk about social entrepreneurship, social value creation, what are we talking about?
Well, what we're talking about is building businesses that work towards both economic prosperity and transformative social change. What we see is most companies today view that they have to pick between focusing on profits or focusing on a social mission. And we believe here at the Smith School that you can actually do both with good strategy and great business acumen.
Well, what's the history of this idea? How new a concept is it?
It's not that new of a concept if you think about corporate social responsibility. And many years ago, companies started to do programs to get their employees engaged in their community. They started to build products that were environmentally sustainable. But what we've seen today is that companies are actually looking for even more integration into their corporate culture and into the services and products that they deliver. So while the concept itself is not new, the approach that companies are taking and how deeply integrated it is into their organization is much different than it has been in the past.
Now, Yonas, you're involved in something called the Ashoka Changemaker Campus Program. Tell us what that is.
Sure. It's basically an initiative started by Ashoka where a few different universities are participating in it. And basically the idea is to show students how to further social entrepreneurship on their campuses. So here at the University of Maryland, we're actually working across campus to kind of unify the different initiatives to incite social change under this banner of social entrepreneurship, and really showing students, kind of like Melissa said, that it's not really a choice between social change and kind of the for-profit sector or kind of what you're doing in your field. It's really, there's a way to combine both. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with Changemakers.
Can you give me some examples of projects that you or other students might be involved in?
Sure. So we actually formed a student group called TERP Changemakers. And we have a couple events coming up. On March 26th, we have a film festival. And well, actually, March 26th is the Symposium, I'm sorry. And the Social Enterprise Symposium is geared towards really opening students' eyes to this idea of social entrepreneurship and showing them that there's all these different sectors that are involved in this and they can actually get involved with it as well. And then the film festival is geared towards getting students to show us what they're already doing here on campus. And so I've been involved with a number of initiatives on campus. And one is actually called Harambee Endeavor, and it's a nonprofit, student-led nonprofit that focuses on engaging Africa's global intellectual capital and connecting students with opportunities on the continent.
So to focus on that specific example, how would that be judged in terms of its success? It's not just a dollars and cents thing.
Exactly, and I think that's what Ashoka has been very useful in helping to do, is showing us how to measure success. So it's about clear results. You know, how many opportunities were you able to connect students with? How many communities were you able to help? What were the clear kind of measurable factors that went into what you're doing? So I think Ashoka has been very helpful in that, and specifically with Harambee Endeavor. We've engaged a number of different students, a bunch of nonprofits, and it's really about showing students that they can get involved in what they're already doing. It's very applicable to the social sector.
Melissa, let me ask you the same question. How, from a
Sure.
more global or from the school's perspective, how do you judge the success of these efforts?
Well, I think it's the ability for organizations to create practices that allow them to be sustainable. And what I mean is to create opportunities to generate revenue that covers their cost structure to allow them to grow and scale and deliver their services. So it's a very new methodology and a new approach for the nonprofit sector. And the students are having experience working with these organizations and helping to create these types of strategies where they build products or services and cover their costs to be able to deliver whatever type of service they are doing in the nonprofit sector. I also find that for-profit organizations, it's really about a shift in mentality, again, that they can both build profitable companies, grow those companies and scale those companies, but also deliver a service and a community service in both social and economic terms.
All right, Melissa Carrier and Yonas Beshawred joining us from the Smith School of Business. Thanks very much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.